Explain two strategies that management could implement to improve communication within the organization. So we have notices and bulletins with clearly defined objectives from management, strategically placed where employees frequent to ensure that workers are clear about management's expectations as well as ongoing business operations. As well as we could have formal meetings. Management can schedule formal meetings to discuss any grievances employees may be experiencing, right? So employees and management can now derive with possible solutions and clearly define goals for the business. Define the term invitation to treat. So invitation to treat, this is not a genuine offer. However, goods are showcased or advertised, inviting customers to make price offers or treat. So if you break it up, the invitation to treat is actually inviting customers to make a price offer or treat. Right, so identify two characteristics of a simple contract. So I listed 5 characteristics here, and you can use 2 out of these. So we have an agreement between 2 or more parties, an offer, an acceptance, a time for performance to be effected, and the consideration. All right, so the consideration is the valuable benefit from the contract. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. 2 ways of terminating a contract. So a contract can be terminated by agreement, performance, death, impossibility, lapse of time, and breach. So we know that an agreement, so with agreement, the parties involved in the contract, they agreed together that they no longer want to continue with the contract for whatever reason, right? A contract can also be terminated by performance. This means that the parties within the contract performed their obligations or completed their obligations within the contract. By death, it means that one of the parties or parties died within the contract. Impossibility, this means that the contract cannot be carried out for some reason. It could be because of lack of resources. Whatever the reason is, it is no fault of either of the parties. So this is impossibility. Then we have lapse of time. So a contract must have a time for the performance to be effective. If that time has passed, then the contract is terminated because of lapse of time. Then we have a breach of contract. This means that one of the parties did not complete their part of the contract, or they did not complete their obligations within the contract. So that is breached. So these are ways of terminating a contract. So I listed 6 here, so you could take 2 from these, trying to remember 2, at least 2 from these, okay? Describe 2 features which make a hire purchase agreement a type of specialty contract. Well, we know a specialty contract is a formally written document which is signed, sealed, and delivered. Also, specialty contracts usually have numerous obligations and terms attached to them. All right, they are usually legally binding the customer to the contract. So a hire purchase agreement is especially a specialty contract, because it contains large sums of money and numerous obligations which are legally binding the customer to pay for goods and services. Another reason why a hire purchase agreement is a type of specialty contract is that the agreement is formally written, signed, and sealed. Distinguish between insurance principles, utmost good faith, and indemnity. All right, so utmost good faith refers to the disclosure of factual information when applying for an insurance policy. This would ensure that the insurer adequately assesses the risks to provide an appropriate premium. And then we have indemnity, which is the restoration of the insured party to his initial financial position before he experiences a loss. So let's say if the insured party practiced utmost good faith, so it means that he disclosed factual information when he applied for the insurance policy, he will now be eligible to claim for any loss occurred and will then be restored to his initial financial position. Let's go on to the next question.